day 2. Today's a day of serious hunting. Now, we're gonna go check out some new spots this morning. So we still have another day of mostly scouting. Hopefully we see something. But after probably about 2 o'clock today, I'll sit down and say, all right, based on everything we've seen, sign and tracks, what on my map still looks worthwhile for the last 2 days. And then we're gonna hunt those areas hard the last 2 days. So expect to see a lot more driving and glassing, hike out to a point, glass. But the good part is today we're getting here earlier. Yesterday, anytime I'm coming to new terrain, I like to get there right at daylight so I can see the landscape, see what it's like. Now that I know how the roads lay out, we can bomb in there in the dark and get to some places I drove past yesterday. Interesting part about this place is you got these flat grasslands, and then you got these arroyos and canyons. In between every arroyo or canyon, there's roads going out there, and so this time of day you can see taillights there, taillights there, taillights there. And I think everyone's doing the same thing. You drive these roads that go between these canyons, and then you just walk out on the fingers and you just glass. Got 5 does right here bedded below me, and there's a deer coming through that canyon, but I'm just catching glimpses. I can't tell what it is. It's coming towards them. I think there'll be a bigger buck in here. I'm just gonna stay and watch for a little while and keep this spot in mind. I don't think anyone's gonna drop off these cliffs and go harass them. This spot looks pretty good. It's way out here. It took a long time to drive out here. But if there are deer in the area, does in the area, there's gonna be bucks. It just would be, are they gonna bed? I'm not gonna go and try to stalk deer that aren't bedded. It's always interesting to me how when you force yourself to slow down, which I do by sitting down, how much you actually see out there. I plop my butt down right here. I've seen a buck over there, 3 does, and what I think might be a smaller buck. And you just never know. I mean, would I have seen him if I was standing up? Maybe. But when I'm standing up, I'm just looking too much. I'm looking just in the open spots. When I slow down, I seem to do a better job of looking everywhere. There's a buck just to the left of that doe. He's narrow, but he's tall. Asking her where she's going to bed is like asking my wife where you want to go to dinner. Michael says that we can do a YouTube poll now. I'm not sure how it works, but what I'm wondering is if you were here and you only had 3 days to hunt and you saw a 3x3 about 18 inches wide, barely, should say 4, barely 4 in the front, but in the back, really tall and deep. Would you go after him? Even though you're going to have to figure out how to scale these cliffs and get out there a mile. Or would you look around and see what's here? It's going to be up here, folks, says Michael. Yes, go after him. No, keep looking around. Hands could be disappearing here. Well, that's why you never go after animals that aren't bedded. They stayed in that same little pocket for the last 45 minutes, and all of a sudden the doe decided, I'm going to head on out of here. Exit stage right. So about the time we would have got off these cliffs, snuck up in there, thinking they're still there, they'd have moved off, and we would have thought, how did they hear us? How did they smell us? Well, they just moved on. Well, it's noon, and I really wanted to go and explore more country today, but where I'm at, there's a group of 6 does, a group of 7 or 8 does, another group of does, or another group of does, and there's bucks moving in and out of all this. I only have 2 more days after today. I want to explore more country, but the old saying, you don't leave fish to find fish. I think with all these deer in here and all these does, that this afternoon there's going to be some decent bucks somewhere coming through here. One of the things I have to do today, though, is I got to go around and I got to find a way that I can get off these cliffs, because right now I'm on sheer faces like that. If there was a deer right there, I couldn't go after him. I got to figure out where the drop-off points are here, so I'm going to get that done this afternoon before prime viewing light. I'd really like to take a nap. Sun's behind the clouds. It's perfect napping weather right now.
There's a buck pushing a doe right now. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know where at.
Right in the open. You can see it with the naked eye.
That's the same group. That's the same 2 from this morning. I think that guy just needs shot.
They're about to cross the fence right now. I'm pretty sure it's the same deer we're talking about.
And across the fence. No. I was looking at another buck and a doe pushing over there. Okay. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? He's definitely the better buck that we've been wanting to. Okay. I was like, man, that 3-point wasn't as big as I thought he was. Well, he is, now that I see. This is the 3-point that forks in the back, which is the one we want, not the one that forks in the front. Well, that was a flurry of activity. Is that guy gonna stay there? What do you think, Michael?
I'd go after him for sure.
Yeah. Oh, now he turned. What did he see that caused him to turn that quickly? Going back. Sniffing his bed.
In front of him.
Okay, he just bedded again. I know this is a roll of the dice to leave him when he's got a doe, but I think that doe is going to stay there the rest of the afternoon. We're going to go to the truck, drive down to where that gap is that we think we can get down. That'll put us about 1.5 miles away. we'll stay low, and I think the wind's going to be in our favor. We know if we get to the fence, we've gone too far. So what we've had to do is to find a spot we hope we can get off these cliffs right out here. It looks a bit shallower, or slope looks less steep. We're going to add about 1.5 miles to our trek. Oh, we're cliffed out here. I was afraid of that. I'm going to hike back up, go around that face, and see if there's any place there where we can get through without being cliffed out. Stay here until I go down, and you'll know. About 300 yards ahead of us. We might have those other 2 bucks. They were there 38 yards. But I'm not going to shoot one of them, knowing he might be here. It was a fun stalk. Would you have been mad if I would have shot one of those other 2?
No.
I think what happened is when the cloud cover cleared, the sun was just beating on them right there. It's reflecting off that rock. And they probably got up and moved. But we lost our cloud cover about 20 minutes before we got right here to this lip. What do you do? Nothing you can do. Go grab our packs, hike back to the truck, and try another one. Whenever you drop your pack, make sure one of your people, you, or someone with you, marks where they're at. Michael's convinced me to go straight up this face. That somehow we'll find a gap through the cliffs. All right. Don't ask me why an old guy like me is listening to a young guy like him. I know better than that. It feels like a bummer that I don't have a mule deer buck in my pack. But coming up the rock face, something told me I feel better not having it in my pack. Well, got to go for a good hike today, good stalk. Saw quite a few bucks actually. You know, one of the downsides of going in on a bedded buck with his doe in the rut is he's going to get a lot of other bucks coming in and trying to ease in on him. And the other thing is when you go out of sight of them, like we made about 1.5 mile loop to get the wind and get out of those cliffs. When you go out of sight of them, they're out of sight of you. And you might peek over and all of his other bucks are standing there in range, but he's not there. I don't know what happened. All I can figure is that he got fed up with all the harassment right there. We'd watched him run off, I don't know how many bucks today, a lot. So, hike back to the truck. Just dropped our stuff there after our hike out of that canyon. Came over here to glass. Now I'm just gonna drive out, stop and glass all these canyons on the way out. And tomorrow we're gonna shoot a buck. So thanks for watching. It's gonna be worth your time. Trust me.